All right, members of the council, sensors are online. It's the next week, and we do have some stuff that's happening this week, but let's take a quick moment to take a look at our roster. Things have changed up again, starting with the fact that due to the tireless work of the people in the repair bay, we've got a couple new mechs that we've got out here. Well, we've only got one new mech out here, but it's let us shift the roster up a bit. Last time, I threatened Sergeant Li Swang Guang, Pugs, with the fact that she was going to become the burger of this campaign. That turned out to be a little bit prophetic. She has been stuffed into our recently fixed Marauder Mad 3R. This is the same model that Burger would have been in if he had gotten the shittier version that didn't have Lost Tech in it. But, you work with what you have. Still, it's going to make the most of her sniper skills. Those two PPCs firing off every other turn, just in order to keep the heat juggled, is pretty excellent for dishing out long-range damage, and it's got some decent armor, so it can mix it up if necessary. We moved her into Central Lance, replacing Corporal Luke Kelly, Trebuchet, who moved down to Big Sky Lance. Managed to keep Big Sky Lance more or less weight balanced because we stripped out one of the stripped out the dervish that we had put in that last time. Oh wait, no, we didn't have a dervish in this one last time. It was another one of the Wolverines, Babe. Babe was in here, and we scooched her up here. I actually need to keep better track of where the hell I'm moving everyone. Point is, Trebuchet is now part of Big Sky Lance. Everyone else, I think, is more or less the same in there. We still got uh, Dizzy, Saeed, and we still got Small, who just really needs more target practice. Well, she got the headshot. She got the headshot last time. Super cool. Firebrand Lance has been shaken up a little bit. No, wait, it's exactly the same. Look, I think I need to start over. No, fuck it. We're doing it live. We are doing it live. Fuck it. So, point is, we have rotated in another heavy mech into Central Lance, which has allowed us to get Central just a little bit closer to that 280 max tonnage. It's right now just about as good as it could be without us pushing into Assault. So, let's take a look at what we've got lined up for this week. So we've got two missions this week, a breakthrough and a recon raid. I'm not too happy about the breakthrough because then I'm the attacker on it again, which means that this is another match where I don't get any loot out of it for pushing through. And the recon raid I'm kind of leery about because the last one of those just did not go so hot, but that's partially because we got greedy. Although it's also on a full moon night. That's not great. Now, the breakthrough is being conducted by Big Sky, and the recon raid being conducted by Firebrand. So that means Central didn't get deployed this week. Central can reinforce one of these. The question is which. Furthermore, we also have our recon team, our infantry on the ground that have been scouting out for us. So let's start there and see if they can help things out a bit by maybe making one of these an automatic victory for me this week. 1d6, need a 6. No, just short. Well, win some, lose some. That means that we've got two fights that are going on. This one's on a full moon. This recon raid on a full moon night, that is not good at all because we need to be moving fast on a recon raid. And this one on daylight, clear, hills, wooded, all of that seems more or less okay. I don't see much I actually need to look at the forces I'll be dealing with this time around. This looks pretty reasonable. Enemy is packing a fire starter and a Shadowhawk, but that's it in terms of mechs on this one. This is a pretty light resistance that they've pushed here, and our allies have sent two mediums on this as well. So the bot has some trouble with breakthroughs and sometimes understanding exactly how it's supposed to deal with them. But this is one of those situations where I think realistically we can make a heavy breakthrough. Actually try to knock out enemy units on our way through and try to emerge on the other side after having knocked out a lot of the enemy's ability to resist. Like before, we've got to reach the north edge with more than 2/3 of our starting forces, which means with 6 of our guys, we just have to make sure our own guys get out to succeed. But I'd really love to avoid any further contract breaches because, god damn it. Damn it, damn it. So the recon raid, this is another one of those where if we deploy more units to it, we have an opportunity to just fucking stomp all over their faces and take home everything. Unfortunately, we've got a javelin and a fire starter, and both of them, well, this guy's an okay standard issue intersphere pilot, but this one fucking sucks on piloting, and I just bet, he's like, oh boy, I just got my pilot's license. Let me show you this sweet ass kick I can do. Enemy starting at the center is, well, some pretty heavily armed tanks, but just tanks. That Hetzer is kind of a problem because it's packing the AC-20. These LRM Bulldogs, if I remember correctly, are going to pack like... Bulldogs in general all pack like SRM-4s and machine guns, and then they have a main armament in their turret, and I think for the LRM, it's an LRM-20. Well, hell, I guess. Yeah, an LRM-20, 2 SRM-4s in the turret, and a machine gun mounted front. This AC-2 is going to have, a pair of AC-2s in its turret, 2 SRM-4s in its turret, 2 machine guns front. Ho-ho, big spender. Lighter armor than I recalled, but I guess the Bulldog is a medium tank, so you can shave some of the slabs off it, but it will have reinforcements coming in 6 turns, which are actually pretty light. 2 Scorpion light tanks, a Pegasus, and a Scimitar. Interdasting. This is all vehicles. Now, one thing you'll notice is that during the salvage last time, we went really light. In fact, we let our Lyran allies keep both of those beheaded mechs because, well, just in general, I wanted to try to even the score a little bit in case we got some good salvage coming up down the line, which we did not here. But we could probably rank down that tally a bit more this time around just by knocking out a bunch of these tanks, enough to destroy 50% of them at least, and then allowing those to accrue up for our allies' total salvage. That'll allow us more salvage percentage with anything else that happens this month, and it does seem like the Draconises have gotten their second wind. So what I'm thinking is we let this breakthrough happen normally. We try to reinforce this recon raid. If we can reinforce this recon raid, we just take it to them, knock out all of those tanks, and then complete the mission at our leisure. If we can't get the reinforcements, we're gonna have to play it by ear. Even though it's just a bunch of tanks, we've got lightly armored allies. We just don't want to lose those anymore, although I don't know if we could actually do anything to stop that. They're still going to run face first into the AC-20 of the enemy. And it's Firebrand Lance, so unfortunately it's kind of misfit brigade. The Crusader is an excellent all-rounder, except for the fact that it's most of its armament is short range. Dervish is in kind of the same position, except it's also a tinderbox. The Wasp is just too lightly armored to really rely on, and this Wolverine is a decent mech, but it's got an inexperienced pilot in it. Firebrand Lance is kind of shaky. The best thing I could really say that we could do with it is take that Crusader and just start kicking vehicles, because it is heavy enough to make that happen. That means it's got fewer SRM-6s, though. Well, in any case, I do think that our best option is going to be to try to do the breakthrough on its own, try to reinforce that recon raid, and just play it by ear. One other thing that pisses me off, first mission is on Saturday, next mission on Sunday. We're going to have almost no time to repair any damage that comes off of these missions, and that's going to possibly leave us in a bad position next week, but we'll see how things turn out. Alright, so let's talk about this breakthrough. Breakthrough, gotta reach the north edge. Hills, wooded hills, honestly seems fine to me. Things could definitely be worse. daylight and clear, we'll move at full speed, and there won't be any impediments to shots. Calm wind, no fog. Haven't seen fog this game yet, I don't think. I'm not sure if I allow that to go on. I don't really want to risk getting a worse roll, like rolling to end up in, I don't know, a frickin' swamp or anything. So I think that this is totally reasonable. Alright, I've experimented long and hard to try to get these bings under control. Let's see if I actually manage this time. It's quiet to me. I always say that. It's quiet to me, and hopefully it's quiet to you folks too now. I tested it. It seemed good, but I just never know. Yep, enemy fire starter, Shadowhawk, and then just a bunch of light tanks. Yeah, I think if we get a chance to, seeing where our ally deploys and then just kind of focusing on them and trying to help them out. Rubina here is a pretty good shot, but not a great pilot. Tarza here is better than average pilot and an okay shot. Of course, we're super cool. Uh, Lieutenant Sassy Allen, Dizzy, and all of these guys, and Hog are proven veterans. Knocked out several mechs. Shot Small. Small has a lot to prove, but this may be the mission to prove herself on. You hear that, Small? I'm watching you. I've got my notepad and pencil out. I am taking notes. All right, we start at the south. They start at the center. Let's get down there. We've got to deploy our company leader, our lance leader, early on. But we'll see a fair amount of the guys' deployment after that. Looks like the J. Edgar, Light Hover, and the Harasser are out here. Interesting map, this one. Lots of wooded cover. We could try to bamboozle them, and in fact, I think this is an excellent idea. Try to bamboozle them just by kind of pushing up on this right side, and that gives us a lot of cover to work with. The enemy will have to seek out lines of sight where they can hit us, and they'll have trouble hitting us through a lot of this vertical cover. Now, that begs the question of what my allies are going to do, and if I know Steiner tactics thus far, unless they are the greatest pilot in the entirety of the Lyran Alliance, then they're going to point their front towards the enemy and then just try to slam them into the ground. But I think I'll just kind of start by deploying over here. General policy of moving up through this side, but I should be able to see some of my friendlies' deployments before I finish, so we'll see if they are on board with that plan. Enemies plop down their Shadowhawk and another one of their tanks. Now, these harassers, the missile platform harassers are packing an LRM-10, and this harasser laser platform, I think, is just packing some mediums. Yeah, a pair of mediums. These aren't terribly heavily armed vehicles or armored. In fact, most of them are hovers. In fact, the harassers are also, I'm pretty sure, hovers. Right? Right? Yeah, hovers. Which means that we might be able to knock out a bunch of them just kind of on lull random rolls. That would be super funny to me. Hermes. Hermes definitely needs to be embedded in the tree line. He is my more lightly armored light mech, so he needs a little bit of extra cover to keep him safe. Crack shot, though. Crack shot. He might be able... I'm going to rely on him to take out tanks. In fact, that's your job this game. Take out tanks. Oh, boy. Yeah, they have decided that they do not want any impediments between them, Glory, and the pine box that they will call their eternal rest. Well, with that being the case, I need to deploy my trebuchet with Hog over here. In fact, not a terrible idea to just deploy him like this anyway. We'll have a range advantage over most of the stuff. That Harasser will have some early shots on us, but with the LRM-15s in this trebuchet, I should be able to out-missile nearly anything that comes my way. So may as well get a start on getting some range on them and putting shots down range. Meanwhile, similar policy applies for the Shadowhawk. These are my two longer ranged mechs, so getting them out there so that they can start putting shots on chumps is not a bad plan. Besides, we can always duck back into cover if these guys go completely suicidal. It's the Draconis that are supposed to be committing harakiri, you dumb fucks. Whoa, +7. Oh, right. We're getting advice from Dizzy now. And Dizzy is letting us know, hey, here's some simple tips to never have to go first ever again. He's not my commander. That is still Sassy. Sassy is technically the officer in charge here. In fact, we haven't gotten quite enough people into our group to warrant another officer. And, well, I think I know who might be up for the task. But in any case, we are benefiting from his significant combat experience. Alright. So, friendly Shadowhawk is, of course, pumping forward. Enemy Shadowhawk kind of pumped forward. And it looks like a lot of the enemies cleared that central line of sight. Which, I'm generally okay with. We've got some eyes on this fire starter right now. He jumped behind our lines, but I don't know if we'd be able to get my AC. Whoa, shit, that thing has a longer range than I thought. Well, with that being the case, I could sink into this cover. Alternatively, I could just chugga forward, but I lose sight on him somewhere back here. I guess I'm a little weirded at how the lines of sight are being determined there. But apparently if I embed myself here, I can see him. But then again, I can be seen by a lot. But then again, not much. Do you have AC5s? This is important. Yeah, you have AC5s. You can see me. You could pop me. Instead, let's take advantage of that tree cover. Just try not to be seen so much. At 4 hexes moved, that's -1. 5 hexes moved, -2. I'm not going to be able to get anyone in sight and in better than medium range. This guy cruised for a mod of 1. This guy ran for a mod of 1. So whoever of those we're shooting at, we're going to be taking some severe penalty through the trees, bad penalty from range. These aren't going to be good shots to start with, but that's okay. I didn't expect good shots to start with. Let's see. Now, Shadowhawk. Well, we want to move a little bit at least. This harasser did not move much. Any chance I could get into tree line? I could, and that would protect me against most of the enemy, like harassers and such. And I'd still be able to see that Shadowhawk. He did not move much. What do my range on my PPC look like? Oh, choices. I could go kind of flat out. That would give me good penalties to hit. I should still be getting some cover from that heavy woods. He'd have a harder time hitting me than I should have of hitting him. But that still would be -2, or sorry, +2, probably +2, +6 on my 4 shot. That's going to be 10s. It's really just not worth risking at this point. Instead, if we push up one more. Oh, right. There's some level change going on here. Well, does that mean I could actually get further if I did something like... No, that's just about the same. Tell you what, yeah, I'm going to duck into these trees. Next turn, we will push through these woods. Let's see here. This is level 2, level 2, level 2, level 2. Yeah, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should be able to push up into those trees and take advantage of the heavy cover and just start firing. For right now, Wolverine, push up hard. You're going to be taking bad shots, but I want you up front screening for that Hermes. And lastly, Hog. What can you get some eyes on? You've got eyes on plenty of enemies right now. Can you move up enough to get something within medium range? You can get the Shadowhawk in medium range. You can also get the Harasser in medium range if you charge forward. In fact, you don't even have to charge forward, just right there would do it. You'd also be seen by a lot of the enemy, though. But you'd be in long range for the actual missile-bearing enemies. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth risking at this point. On the other hand, that's good shots on that Harasser. Let's see here. I'd be +2, +2, 4, +1, 5. That's still going to be 9s. That's 24% chance to hit. You know what? I'll take it. I will take it. Because an LRM-15 landed on that Harasser could just take it out right now. And that would be hilarious. Okay, so we're making a unified push with our allies. With the AC-5, shots are not as bad as I was expecting, actually. Alright, moment of truth. No truth required. We're going to focus as much as we can on this Harasser back here, because if we can knock it out, that's good. That's one less mech on the, or one less vehicle on the field. We've got almost no chance of knocking that Shadowhawk out in a single blow. And, that Harasser is going to be targetable by a lot of people. So let's take advantage of the fact that it just did not cruise much and try to bury it right now. So out goes the AC-5. We don't have any good shot with anything else, so off we go. Shadowhawk here does not have shots on that Harasser. It has shots on this back one, but no chance of hitting. Has shots here, has a mild chance of hitting, but, you know, it's not like that heat's going to do us any problems. May as well fire the LRM-5. My general experience has been there's never a reason not to. So let's just go ahead and put that downrange. That's not been my general experience, but that's just how I'm justifying it right now. We've got pretty garbage shots on that Harasser, but, you know, they might be garbage, but it's what we got. And it's not like we're any better on the mech. So shots downrange. The trebuchet, we calculated it out. Yeah. Oh man, it feels good to actually get that number crunched just right. Just right. Let's wing those LRM-15s downrange. Is there a way to get the... Yeah, we want this like this for right now. Forgot about setting that. Let's see what we can do. LRM-10 from the enemy Harasser does hit my Wolverine. It needed pretty unlikely shot, but managed to get the like 12% chance. It happens. Enemy Shadowhawk misses both its rolls. It needed like a 2% chance. F you. We miss our 10%, unfortunately, with our... oh, wait, no, that's still the enemy Shadowhawk. Still the enemy Shadowhawk. No, that was our allied Shadowhawk. There's too many Shadowhawks on this field. We have an allied Shadowhawk, an enemy Shadowhawk, and our Shadowhawk, all of which miss. Fortunately, we do have our Dizzy showing you how it's done, landing a shot of the AC-5 on that Harasser, stripping all the armor off of its left side, which looks like it opened it up just enough for one of the LRM-15 pods launched to get a lucky roll, hit, and get into that same left side dissection, destroy it, and knock it to the ground. That is one vehicle taken out of the fight on the first turn. Excellent work. Excellent work. Dizzy and Hog. Dizzy Hog. Is that a shipping name? Probably not. That sounds more like a alcohol to me. Oh. Tactical slurping action. I bet everyone loved hearing that. Yup. You guys go first and we'll just sit here and laugh. So the enemy shows me that Firestarter has a death wish. It's kind of jumping up between a bunch of our mechs. And so if it's so eager to die, it really would be rude of us to ignore it. Um, that said, I don't think I'd be able to get good shots from this trebuchet on it. Yeah, I would have to go through heavy cover. Even if I embedded myself here, that's still going to be going through heavy cover. Not really worthwhile. I could instead try to tromp up on this Shadowhawk, put some lasers on it, or I could just go after this Harasser. Harasser is just as good a shot as I am, so rather than fight it with my medium lasers, I think that I will just take a quick boogie up and get it into that sweet spot LRM range. Although that said, if I boogie to the side a little bit, I should be able to get shots on it. Yeah, should be able to get shots on it that won't take as many penalties for. I think that one will be without cover penalty. Yeah, that's what I'm going to bet on. And we should have some pretty heavy cover against that Shadowhawk still, if it tries to peg at me because I move too slow. This Firestarter, who do I want to get behind it? Well, kinda everyone. Can I get... Let's see. Is this position... This position can be seen by the Shadowhawk, but I should have some heavy cover from it. So I can just move into position here, and my Wolverine friend should be able to go 1, 2, 3 foot. Yeah, just fine. So honestly, I think we're just going to kind of get on his... Although that said... Okay, so he's got Torso Twist. Let's not forget that. He could Torso Twist and start blasting away. So really what I want to do is put the Hermes behind him, put the Wolverine off to his side, and for the Shadowhawk, well, my plan was... Let's see here. 2, 4, 6... Oh, right, 2 extra points to go into heavy cover. Well, the good news is that doesn't foil much. We should still be able to see something through that. Alternatively, we could just kind of cruise out this way, and we'd have to go through cover, but we'd be within short range of the Firestarter. And we'd attract his attention a little bit, so I think that seems pretty sound. Uh, who's falling back? Oh, right. That's just the general term for them attempting to get to the board edge, because they are programmed to do that. It's just the last guys were turncoats, remember? Completely obvious turncoats. So we haven't moved very far except for our Shadowhawk. That's going to make it easier to hit us, but most of the enemy's firepower is still kind of stagnated behind this cover that we took over here. So let's riggedy wreck this Firestarter. Over here, the Trebuchet, I could get 9s on this Shadowhawk, but I think I'd rather take 8s on this Harasser platform with my LRMs. I could put a medium laser shot on it, but it's pretty much not worth it. Instead, we will just wing these downrange. We're going to gain heat at a slow rate as long as we keep moving and firing those LRMs. Both of them together deal out 10. We've only got the standard 10 heat sinks to soak. We build up a point every time we walk, 2 points every time we run. At some point, we'll have to stop firing both barrels, but that point is not this turn. Right now, we're trying to knock the fuck out of this Harasser. So that's good. This Hermes, as long as we're in position, the AC-5 is going to have a little bit of a hard time targeting anything, just because it's got a minimum range. We actually could put a very accurate shot on the Shadowhawk. In fact, what we could do is put our flamer and medium laser on this chump that's right next to us, and then fire a secondary shot at that Shadowhawk. Because both of those guys are in our front arc, I get to pick who's primary. It would be much more likely to hit and do a little bit more stripping. On the other hand, what does this guy have in back armor, real quick? 5, 6, 5? Yeah, an AC-5 shot anywhere there is going to strip back armor. And a shot on this guy, could at best like pop him in the head and knock him out, but that's incredibly unlikely. Only Commander Kobe is capable of doing shots of such magnitude. So yeah, instead we'll play it safe. I kind of want now damage from high to low. So we pop him with the AC5, zap him with the medium laser, and go in with the flamethrower for crit procking. Over here, we're gonna put, well, okay, so he's got +7, probably because of, yeah, intervening heavy terrain. They've got 2 scorpions stacked up here. Is one of them easier to hit than the other? No, they're just as much, they're being bastards both ways. And that's not any easier of a shot. I don't know. It's a bevy of bad shots, but of the bevy of bad shots I can take, I've got at least 2 shots that could hit on this scorpion. So I think I'll take that. Go ahead and torso twist up just for looks. Target the scorpion that's on top of the scorpion stack. And send shots downrange. This Wolverine, though, I just want them to mess up this guy as badly as possible, which at this range is going to be the medium laser, SRM6 combo for stripping and then crit procking. I could fire that, but that would put me like, it's 8, I'd be at 17, that'd be only, no, I'd be at 19, duh. I'd be 5 over, that's gonna fuck with my to hit and to my move. So no, I like keeping mobile, especially since the entire point of this one is technically to get to the board edge, even though, while we're moving, we are taking out enemy units. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, and let's see what happens. Enemy harassers! Those harassers are getting lucky, because another unlikely laser manages to zap my trebuchet in the right arm. Trebuchet is not the most heavily armored mech. It can take a couple shots like that, but not too many. Fortunately, they've been having some pretty unlikely shots. Now, this guy had a pretty average shot that he missed, so it all balances out. This guy had had us pretty dead to rights, and so when he hits us with that AC5 on Sassy's mech, not surprising. AC5 at the Wolverine. Uh, okay, yeah, us not moving much is really starting to show. Okay, eeh. Enemy got a lot of hits on Sassy this turn, and a lot of them on the left arm. Left arm stripped of damage on the AC5. Left arm stripped of armor on the due to medium laser. SRM on right arm. At least one of these things missed. Fire starter on left torso. Right torso, shots all over, flamer shots all over. We're into criticals on the left arm on the Wolverine. Not a super huge fan of that, but we still have the arm. It's just badly damaged right now. And, boy. Now, a 7 is like a 54% chance to hit, but they nailed a bunch of those. More than half of them, so luck's with them a little bit. So let's see if luck can be with us a little bit. Alright, does look like luck can be with us a little bit. Once again, Hog is showing off exactly who is the missile master over here. Lands 12 missiles and then 9 missiles onto that harasser. Front damage, left side turret. And then, having stripped the armor off that left side, it goes straight into the left side again, destroys the structure, leaves it immobile, and actually apparently killed the crew. So they don't even get to abandon it. Tough break, guys. How did we do on that Hermes? Or how did we do on that Firestarter? Okay, just like I predicted, anything that we managed to hit in the back was going to go through armor. And we also landed a medium laser, which hit its right leg. Weakening up that leg is excellent because that means that we'll be able to kick it. We can't take any salvage on this mission, but kicking the leg off that Firestarter means that we can kind of just leave him behind in the trees. So that's excellent start, and we've got 2 kicks wound up for him, so we'll see how that goes. PPC fire manages to actually land good shots, good shots. That was a pretty hard one. Maybe I just need to give you more difficult shots. Does some minor damage to it, +1 to driving skill rolls. That won't matter. We don't have anything that procs driving skill rolls on this map. We don't have like rainy terrain or anything. Uh, Friendly Phoenix Hawk is managing to put some damage on that enemy Shadow Hawk. They are focusing on us, but quite honestly, I'm a little bit okay with that. We can repair that damage easily. Our allies can't bring home a blown up mech because they fucked up and got in too deep. So, but he's actually pulling his weight, so I appreciate that. How about you, Sassy? What can you bring to the table? A miss, but you get that medium laser on him, and the SRM-6 rolls almost the smallest number of missiles it can, but pops a little bit around. And both us and the Firestarter took 20 plus damage, but both of us succeed kind of by the skin of our teeth. That cramped cockpit's gonna get me killed. I need to swap out these Wolverines for something else. But now we are in good position to start laying kicks. Excellent chance to walk away from a failed kick here because this guy is piloting 3. More difficult because of the cramped cockpit, but I'm still willing to risk it because any good leg shot on this guy from the Wolverine is probably going to knock him on his ass. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, we crunched the left leg of that thing with our Hermes, left it with only one internal structure remaining, and put a critical hit on its upper leg. Then our Wolverine came in on the same leg, so the two of them just kind of judo chopped him right in the same leg. If I remember the structure of how a Firestarter looks, it's standard human form, so it's got knees that bend like a dude's do, and so pretty much both of them just kind of kicked it back and forth until it twisted and snapped, busted off, took damage on his hip, on his lower leg, and he's missing the leg entirely, so he doesn't have a hell of a lot of armor left. Would have to make 6 piloting rolls, one of which is an automatically fall. He falls on his ass, takes a little bit of damage to his pilot, and stays conscious, but he's kinda out of this fight. Next turn, we could finalize him just if we were feeling mean. And I might feel a bit mean, if I'm being honest. They put a lot of damage on my Wolverine that I just didn't want to have to deal with today, not with so little time to repair shit. Alright, unfortunately, our Hermes goes before the enemy Shadowhawk does, which is sad. I'd love to know where he was so I could know how much I could pick on that Firestarter. But we get to see where the rest of their tanks move. We've already wiped out 2 of those, and we've got the Firestarter eating dust, so let's see how they deal with that. The Firestarter's still prone. He can still... wait, no. Oh, yeah, he did not move. Looks like he didn't even bother trying to get up. Oh, I'm just grossing everyone out, aren't I? I do not want to sit still and let that Shadowhawk take more good shots at me. So what I might do with the Hermes this turn is just kind of run swift. Well, okay, so it's got the AC5. It won't be able to see that J. Edgar. The J. Edgar can't see it. This is only 4 squares of movement, so that's only +1 to hit, but, well, okay, then that Shadowhawk could pretty much catch up to him and maybe start kicking at his fragile legs. I'm not a fan of that. In fact, better part of Valor, I think, is we pull back a little bit. The Firestarter mostly has medium range weapons, so if we get beyond 1, 2, 3, he'll have some difficulty hitting us. So if we just kind of back up to here, and then come back around, we can put some extra shots on him. We can move fast so that we build up our penalties to hit. We're deeply embedded in the trees, so that Shadowhawk has the option of either coming in after us, which will expose him to a lot of my mech's return fire, or backing off and trying to play it safe. Let's see how he takes the bait. Alright, he decided to go after my friend's Phoenix Hawk, but he forgot that that Phoenix Hawk goes after him, so He's kind of got himself in deep, and for not a hell of a lot of reason. We're up to 3 heat here, but if we took a round to sit still, that heavy cover, okay, if instead of sitting still, we kind of embed in this heavy cover, we've got good medium laser shots on this Shadowhawk. Let me remind myself what he's packing. A medium laser, an AC-5. AC-5 is going to have penalties because it's within its close range. An LRM-5, big penalties, and an SRM-2. So he's only packing some moderate medium range punch. If we push up on this guy, we're actually going to make it a lot harder for him to operate effectively. So we push up on him, and instead of firing our LRMs this turn, we put out some lasers and try to knock him out. Those scorpions kind of embedded themselves in a good position to avoid my shots, but also a bad position to put shots on me, although they're kind of, since I'm on higher ground, I guess they can see me, but I'm still going to get shitloads of cover from them, so they can shut up. So yeah, I think this is a good position. Boy, I really hope those bings aren't too loud for you guys. I'm just hoping that like crazy. We could just kind of start rushing up on this guy with this Wolverine, or we can leave the Wolverine here, turn a little bit, and bully this guy bad. We don't even need to do that, honestly. We could just sit right here. But then that Shadowhawk would get some good shots on us. We could alternatively embed ourselves in these woods. That's going to give the Shadowhawk some very bad shots on us, and that'll still let us bully this guy. I like that. That's going to give the Firestarter a chance to fire back at me, but I'm in heavy cover and he's having to get up on his arms, so I think that that's a pretty safe move. I might be wrong. Worst case scenario, he's now on the side, the right side that hasn't been hit as much, except for that right torso. But in general, I'm hoping that that was not a stupid move now in retrospect. Instead of dwelling on that too much, let's dwell on how much we can put on. I think the Wolverine's going to be good for finalizing this Firestarter, the Wolverine and the Hermes. So instead, putting some PPCs close to this Shadowhawk seems like it's an idea that might pay dividends. There, I think we should be. That would put me at -1 from range, but I wouldn't be dealing with the cover. I'd just be at -1 from range, -1 from him being mod. So that would actually be pretty accurate shots, and I'm close in on him, which is going to give him penalties to hit me for a fair number of his weapons. So yeah, let's press on him a little bit. My LRM-5s will be mostly useless, but you can't always get everything. Our allies are scooting along towards the border nicely. I'm going to assume that maybe they read the manual this time, and especially internalized the part that said, "Don't be a traitorous scum." Oh my goodness, look at that. Forced to hit on this sucker. That's going to be some nice shots, yeah, I tell you what. We're gonna get some zaps, or get some bangs, get some zaps, not quite in range to put some fooshes, but are gonna put some extra damage on this Firestarter, just kind of all over him, just all over him. Over here, we're at 4 heat. That means that we could fire just 2 of these medium lasers and be heat neutral, but 3 doesn't give you much of a penalty. Heat 3 doesn't give you much of a penalty, so instead we can fire all 3, zap, 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 and start doing some stripping, which we'll need to do to eventually take this sucker out. Alternatively, I do got some good shots on that Scorpion. Nah, that Shadowhawk is more of a problem right now. That's what I keep telling myself. Wolverine over here has some excellent damn shots on this Firestarter. Just kind of like crazy good. I think once again we're going to go for the medium laser SRM6 combo, and this time we only have like a 9% chance to miss. Still don't want to overheat myself too much, and so we're going to put some nasty hits on him from the Hermes, nasty hits from the Wolverine, and then a kick from the Wolverine. I'll be surprised if this mech is still operational. Because, seriously, this is like 5, 10, 11, 17, and some SRM6s coming in. This guy just doesn't have that much armor on any one of his arcs. If we blow off another one of his legs, he's got to eject. If we blow off one of his arms, he's got to eject. If we blow off his entire body, he's doesn't have a mech. So that seems like a pretty safe bet to me. Let's make that happen. Meanwhile, over here, yeah, +1 from minimum range, +2 from, oh right, I ran. Should have remembered that. But that's still a pretty decent shot. This is, of course, garbage, but we knew that. So let's keep that PPC firing and see how that turns out. Enemy Pegasus is going after our Lyran friends who are fleeing. Fortunately, they fled fast, so no shots on target. Scorpion, however, enemy Scorpion is coming after my Trebuchet, misses. Enemy Firestarter did get some good shots on my Wolverine, but only one of them landed on the right leg, where we've got plenty of armor. Oh, Scorpion Light Tank, however, proves that ignoring these guys is never a good fucking idea, because they shot me right in my head. Jesus, you frickin' things, you wall hackers. It's ridiculous. Sassy has had some real bad luck with getting shot in the head by tanks. That's another injury that she'll be able to bear proudly. Her injury roster is looking kind of crazy. But shots on the shots from the Hermes, we managed to land that AC5. Great. I guess the medium laser was more unlikely to hit, but the definite shots with that AC5 were into internal structure on that right leg, so if we can follow that up with anything, it's down. Enemy Shadowhawk is focusing on the Trebuchet. Damn, they are just headhunting today. I am glad that all of my mechs that I've got out here right now take the full complement of armor for the head. Because right now they haven't breached anything, but god damn, they've gotten good shots. Well, that's some bruising on our hog. There's probably a squeal joke in there, but I don't think I'm going to make it. And burns off the armor on his left arm. His right arm already was down to half. But it's SRM2 and LRM5 miss, so that's good. Enemy or ally Phoenix Hawk just takes a parting shot as it goes. Our Trebuchet, well, at least one of them landed on target. Allied Shadowhawk manages to stun the crew of one of those Scorpions, so good. That's one less of those headhunters that are going to be firing next turn. And meanwhile, the savaging that we were going to put on that Firestarter goes into play. We savage off its some of the stuff off its right arm, taking out its flamer and medium laser. We destroy its right arm. That means he's going to have to eject because he cannot stand up and he cannot wiggle about. His mech is effectively immobilized. And in order to finalize things off, we also put some more damage on his right leg. And you know what? Missed the PPC shot, damn it. But we don't get to take this guy home as salvage no matter what. Let's make the bookkeeping easy by stepping on him. We ran, but he's prone and adjacent, and I am a pretty damn good pilot. Step on him. Stepped on his left leg, destroyed his left leg. His left leg was already gone. Transfers to his left torso, destroys his left torso, transfers to the center torso, and does some critical damage on it. And he's still operational, but I'm gonna go ahead and give Sassy a reminder that she's going to probably be responsible for this fire starter. No, I do not want to update Notepad++. I'll do it later. But good. That's going to be one guy out of the fight. All right, let's see how the let's see how the Draconis respond, and also I guess how the Lyrans respond. The Firestarter is super out of it. He does not want to live on this planet anymore. Yeah, he's out. And it looks like in response, the Draconis forces have kind of clustered up. These guys are focusing on our friendly Phoenix Hawk, and hopefully he will be somewhere other than most of their guns when he moves. We have got a Scorpion light tank that's being a hero, and that Shadow Hawk embedded itself. Can I get up close to this guy? Not super easily. And I've already taken a fair amount of heat on Sassy. Yeah, that hit to the head is not fun. And her arm, center torso is pretty exposed. I think I may even want to kind of leave her back here for this turn. Make it so that that Shadowhawk can't put shots on her. The stunned Scorpion can't put shots on her either. And, so fuck you. Instead, let's just leave her. No, no, no. Let's just leave her right here. She can send some shots downrange, not great shots, but some shots on this Scorpion light tank, maybe knock it out. Yep, get the hell out of here, get behind the enemy, put some zaps on him, good work. Over here, we kind of want the Hermes to move fast and get me a good arc on that Shadowhawk so that we can keep laying damage on him. And that's not a great arc because it goes through a lot of cover. So it'll be an ultimate choice between whether to put it on the Shadowhawk or just put more on this Scorpion. Alternatively, we've got some shots from there that can go downrange on all of these guys. And we're at a longer range to them. None of them have very light, long-range weapons except for this Scorpion with its fives. So I hate it, but otherwise, I think it's okay to expose ourselves to them. Zoop. Trebuchet, not terribly heavily armored, and especially it's taken some bad shots on its arms, and it is carrying weapons in those. So I don't want it to be particularly exposed either. What LRM-15s can we get on target if we, back up a little bit? If we back up a bit, that guy can't see me. We can turn like that and get most of the enemy forces at medium range. And don't be fooled, I'm actually in this square, we just checked it, this guy can't see it. Yeah. From here we can see a fair number of the enemy forces. We could put another volley of LRM 15s on any one of these guys that didn't move much, like this guy or this guy, and try to go for more crit procking to take those guys out before they're much of a problem. I think we're going to do that, because the person that I really want to get up close and personal with this guy and introduce him potentially to the fact that we are capable of doing some kicking is my mech that is a sniper mech. Now, that's stupid, you might say. It is stupid, but the fact of the matter is the Shadowhawk is also the one that hasn't taken much damage this time. So if we rush up on him, although, actually that may just be plain stupid, because if we walk up here, we're still going to be benefiting from some cover, and would be able to put some shots on him. Although not great shots come to look at it. Is there really anything so bad about just staying right here? I don't really think that there... Well, okay, there's the fact that we can't see him, but he can't see us. Right now, I don't think he can see any of our guys. We could just deny him. Yeah, he can't see there. He could see the Hermes. That's not a good situation. Okay, yeah. I need you to expose yourself and make yourself a target, even though it's not really in your best interests. For the good of the company, you know? Doesn't that count for something? Soren Saz ejects safely for a given value of safely, in that he shot himself right into a tree and bounced around like a pinball, but he's still alive, safe enough. Don't know why he didn't just walk out. It's not like his mech, wasn't already on the ground. We're going to take a lot of laser shots on this Actually, we can take the standard issue pair of lasers and an SRM-6, and hopefully that will be enough shots down range on this stunned Scorpion to just take it out. Over here, we do not... Well, okay, that's... Even at a +6, our accuracy with that AC5 is so damn ridiculous. That's still a 50% to hit. I'll take that. I will take that. Don't want to use the medium laser on him, though. Secondary target penalty. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Put it on this sucker. And, I mean, we got the heat. Why not? Trebuchet, like I said last time, could put it on this one, but I think the better one is this one because it's just easier to hit. We'll fire those LRM-15s, get them going down range, and see if between us and the Phoenix Hawk we can't knock that sucker out. And lastly, you could put some shots on this guy or this guy, but really I think the best thing I need you to do is keep firing that PPC right at this guy. And I suppose also you could just wing the LRM downrange here. Let's see what happens. Pegasus fires at us, misses with both SRM-6s. It needed 12s on both. I'm glad to see that. But that reminds me that we need to take that Pegasus out because it's a crit proc tank. Whew. So that needs to go. Enemy Shadowhawk manages to land one of its AC5s on my Shadowhawk, but that is exactly why my Shadowhawk was out there. It can take that kind of damage. Enemy Scorpion misses its AC5. Our Wolverine starts zapping into that Scorpion light tank and amazingly doesn't blow it up, even though all the shots hit. I guess that Scorpion light tank does have some fair armor on it. It took a shot to the turret, took a shot to its front, and took all four of the missiles, one of which injures the driver and one of which hits the sensors, so that thing isn't going to be targeting anything anytime soon. Friendly Phoenix Hawk melts a little bit off of that Pegasus. I am appreciative because that was a really hard shot. Good work there. Our Hermes manages to land that shot on the left leg of the enemy Shadowhawk. I think it's taken... No, it hasn't taken as much damage. That was the other thing. But also lands that medium laser on the Scorpion tank. Good work. That's more melted off of it. Hog unfortunately misses both of his LRM-15s. And we missed the PPC shot, but amazingly, we've got another missile up the tailpipe shot. A through armor critical on the side armor into that light hover tank that we targeted. Missile flies down the tube, hits the engine, blows it up, and that thing is immobile. That's going to be another vehicle out of the fight. Excellent, excellent. And our ally Shadowhawk that's withdrawing just manages to pop up another couple shots. Okay, okay. The enemy, or the allied Shadowhawk and Phoenix Hawk are building up a lot of heat, especially that Phoenix Hawk. He needs to watch himself. Everyone else is pretty heat neutral. My Trebuchet got up to 4, but I knew that was going to happen. Let's see. Yep, the enemies all go before me. So what else do I care about? Alright. Their tanks keep getting pulled further and further away to try to deal with these mechs that are further downrange. Their Shadowhawk did not move much, and so I think I'm actually going to be in a perfect position to get a lot of rear contact with him, with the Hermes and the Wolverine. And so I intend to do that. The Trebuchet is not going to be able to get good shots on him, I don't think. So we probably just need to focus on if we can get some shots downrange to get on this Scorpion, which we've got some good ones there. We could also wing some downrange to hit that Pegasus and try to knock it out. I'll make decisions of that caliber in a moment. For right now, I'm going to put this guy at short range and maybe just turn so that if I decide to then engage the Shadowhawk or that Scorpion Light, it's an option. Putting myself out in the open a little bit, but I ran fast, so it's going to make me hard to hit. Over here, the Wolverine can get into a excellent rear kicking position But I kind of want, if the enemy does put any shots down range, for him to put it on the Wolverine and not the Hermes. Although, let's take a look at you, champ. What can you take? What can you honestly take? You're pretty heavily armored for a light mech. You're not a light mech. You're a medium. I'm sorry. I keep putting you in exactly the wrong category. No, of course, we're going to put the more damaged Wolverine behind him where he won't be able to shoot nearly anything. Zoop. And when it gets to the Hermes, we're going to put the Hermes in a position to be able to put some shots on that chump. Over here, get into a position where we can kind of see him through the light cover, and then back up a bit. Oh, right, level shift. Well, instead, we could walk up a bit. That's 3 hexes moved, so that's at least +1 to hit. But that's going to give me even more cover to deal with. Can I push all the way up to there? I can push up to here. That would be... He would have some trouble hitting me. I would have some trouble hitting him. I could instead push flat out, say, fuck you, Shadowhawk, I don't give a shit, and can't quite get close enough to get that Pegasus in short range. Could get close to it, though. Send her after the Pegasus. Yeah, let's get out of that Shadowhawk's effective range. And just help send Small to go assist our retreating allies. And they're retreating because I want them to. That is intended behavior. And then we'll walk this guy up and get him ready to lay some hurt. Yep, that one that we immobilized is down. We were going to take this trebuchet. We actually can't see that Scorpion. Line of sight kind of lied to me. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. So instead, we can put long-range shots on this Pegasus, but they're super bad ones. We could put some shots on this Scorpion tank, and they're not too bad ones. We could even put some okay medium lasers on him instead. For the Shadowhawk, he ran, apparently. No, I ran, and he moved 3 to 4 hexes. I could put some... bleh, bleh. None of these are particularly great. So instead, I think I'm going to take a round to try to get my heat under control. Fire a single medium laser into that tank and see if that will just get lucky and destroy it. But otherwise, it's an eco round on my heat for the trebuchet right now. It's just kind of been firing both barrels hot too much. Let's twist and get eyes on this Shadowhawk and give him the razzle-dazzle right at point-blank range, right into his buttocks. Is now the time that I want to overheat myself? Honestly, it might be. Because with this, I'd be at 10. The 2 medium lasers would put me at 16. That would put me at 20. 6 over. 6 over is going to impact my accuracy and my move speed. But it might be worth it just to get some good stripping on this guy's rear armor. He is a medium mech, so he's got some decent ones, but a large laser on any of these spots is at least going to expose it. So I think now is the time to just overheat a little bit in order to help ensure that this guy gets a right seeing to. So let's just give him everything. The large laser, the medium lasers, and then the SRM-6. Over here, we were chasing this guy down. We don't have a great shot on him. We could do the twist and still not have a great shot on anyone. We've got, we've had worse shots that we've took, so we'll see if that takes the Pegasus out. We got a lucky tailpipe hit on that light hover tank. Maybe Small can keep doing that. Maybe Small just really wanted to be in a missile boat mech. I mean, who am I to judge? Maybe she just arrived in the wrong mech. 6 to hit, even at its minimum range. I'm glad to see that. So we'll dish that, we'll dish that, we'll dish the whole dish. Just everything on this Phoenix Hawk, try to put it on the ground. Enemy Scorpion. is real fugged up on. Oh wait, I think that this. Okay, never mind. I thought we hit its sensors, which should fug up its accuracy pretty bad, but I guess not that much. AC5 manages to miss. The machine gun manages to hit my Hermes, but I just can't give a shit. Enemy Pegasus fired its SRMs and lasers at our friendly Phoenix Hawk, but missed all of them. Excellent. Enemy Shadowhawk is picking on the Hermes, but like I just figured out, the Hermes can actually take those shots and hold steady despite the a little bit of rumbling. Enemy Scorpion manages to miss my Hermes, and friendly Phoenix Hawk manages to land some shots, or no, misses some shots on that Pegasus. However, the Scorpion number 2, I guess that's the one that was at longer range, so this was the one at shorter range. I still think that his shots should be kind of fucked up from that sensor hit. Well, what do I know? We managed to strip all of the armor off of its side and knock it down to half speed, so it's going to have some trouble getting away. Our Wolverine manages to get that center torso rear shot, and not only strips all of the armor off, but gets a through armor critical, and hits one of its jump jets, so that's going to make it harder for him to move around. That's unfortunate, because at a center torso critical, we could have hit like a gyro or an engine and really fugged this guy up, but an ablative jump jet took it instead. Medium laser burns off some of his right arm, some of his right arm, uh, burns off a little bit of his left torso rear. SRM6, unfortunately, my crit procer missed. That's sad, but well, you can't always get everything. Both shots from small miss. My Hermes unfortunately misses its good AC5 shot, but lands the medium laser, strips off the rest of its left leg. That's excellent because a pair of kicks are coming in, and with a pair of kicks, I think I can shear the guy's leg off. Puts a little bit of extra damage on the right leg. That thing is mostly uninjured, so that one might be a bit difficult to shear off. However, taking 20 points of damage, this guy is a pretty garbage pilot. This is the first time we've seen this in a long time, where a guy has actually been rumbled enough that he takes a spill. He actually falls to the ground, takes some extra damage on his left torso and right arm, and manages to be prone next to me while I have active mech feet. That's not going to go well for him. I am ignoring the Scorpion right now because the Shadowhawk deserves to be kicked to pieces. So, a kick to you and a kick to you, good sir. I will see you in hell. We put some crunch on his right leg and on his right arm. Unfortunately, both still pretty heavily armored places, so he manages to get away with that just with a lot more damage crunched off of him. 19 whole damage picked off him, nearly an AC20 worth of stomp on. So he is looking a bit ragged and is very exposed. Now, that came at the price of my Wolverine being overheated. But he was knocked on the ground, he can't jump jet away, he's trapped in these trees a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what he does to try to escape from the pickle he's currently in. Alright, move your tanks. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Well, that was not a great way to get out of that pickle. I am not going to lie. That you have just put yourself into a far worse pickle, to be completely honest. He did not move a lot. That means that he's exposed his ass to us, and at low mods to hit. I mean, really, I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of a bad move. Shadowhawk over here is being targeted by this Pegasus. I think I really would prefer to say no thank you, sir or madam. Just kind of back slowly away. Except I can't. Too many terrain changes. Could just kind of back up a bit here. Throw it. Oh, don't need to keep backing up once you're like here. Throw it back into forward. Oh, right. If you back up at all, you can't then run. Well, then, tell you what, tell you the hell what, let's just throw it in reverse. Throw it in reverse, back away from that Pegasus and its SRM6s. We're still going to have some pretty good shots on it. In fact, if we back up, oh, actually, no. If right here where we back up, we're still going to be at. Oh wait, hang on. Make sure I don't get messed up on this. Yeah, if we back up one fewer at this 4, we will be able to see him. He'll be at short range, and he'll be at like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he'll be at his medium range for his missiles, and through heavy cover. I'm through heavy cover also, but you know, I just don't want to get hit by those missiles. This seems pretty ideal to me. Over here, I'm really seriously tempted to just turn and pop this guy right in his rear. I mean, take a look at it. His back armor has a big hole and some pretty soft spots. His left leg is exposed. His right leg is near exposed. His right arm is near exposed. His left arm and center torso are the only parts of him that haven't been seriously savaged. So, if we can just put some shots on this chump, we might be able to knock him to the ground. Yeah, I think I'm just going to turn my Wolverine nice and slow. In fact, I don't even have to turn it. If I park right here, he's going to have good shots on me, but I'm going to have good shots on him, and he's the guy that's in more trouble getting shot at wise, and I'm the one that has better short range weapons, asshole. So I'm going to take that risk. Over here, my trebuchet needs to get shots on some target. Trebuchet? What am I getting beeps from? Uh-oh. Let's see. Interesting. Alright, I can ignore that for right now. And let's put a little bit more razzle dazzle on top of this. I don't know. I want to take out that Pegasus. It's just such a threat. If I went here and turned, I'm still at its kind of large range. If I instead just back up a bit, turn a lot, and walk here. Can I turn anymore? No. But I could torso twist to see it, I'm pretty sure. Or if I just do like this, that should get it to me. And I think that that will be able to see him without any blocking from terrain. So I think that's going to be doable. That seems doable. And over here, I kind of want to go and sit on top of this tank, mostly so that I can get more shots on the Shadowhawk. And if the Shadowhawk happens to go down in a round of shooting, I can then step on the tank. Managed to fall one time, and managed to get back up the second time. So let's see what can be done shooting-wise. Oh wait, actually there was a second message here. Give me just a quick moment here. Actually, tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead, pause tape. Hopefully I can splice these together elegantly, and if not, we're gonna kind of have a second episode here. Just don't panic, don't fret. I'll be back in a little bit.